Hi guys, it's Wouter again. KNX in 15 minutes, KNX RAW, the KNX vlog. It's going to happen. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to start off myself. How did I get involved? Well, I remember well, I was working in the Netherlands for ABB for a while, and switched job then, and came back to the Boucher part, because at that time, and it was early 90s, they started with a system to be launched in the Netherlands called EIB. So what did I do? I went to, before I applied for the job, I went to the electrotechnical fair, the trade exhibition, where the first products were shown from Boucher. So I went to the trade show to learn about what it is, and it was like magic. So I applied for the job, and a few weeks later, I don't remember exactly, I started working. But to put it into perspective, I think it was 1993 or 1994. Obviously, Windows 95 didn't exist, let alone Windows 98, etc., etc. So Windows 3.11 it was, I think, meaning that also the software for to program what is now KNX, so EIB, the ETS software, it was version 1.36 that I started working with. I had my training course with it, and there's some nice stuff to talk about it here. So I took a dive in the archives. It becomes a little bit more dark in the meantime, but this is ETS version 1.3, a manual that I made at that time. It has a nice layouting and everything, screenshots or whatever. You had a separate program for design, and then you had to export it, then the program was locked, and you had to import it into the commissioning tool. So there were two tools for that. Basically it was one software tool, but two separate chapters, so to speak. So yeah, that's how I started working with KNX. Look at this. At this time, you had the possibility to import DXF files, DWG files, I think also, to place components. And later on, when working also for the association, the questions came a lot from how could ETS handle floor plans and stuff like that. It was really something that was used in the first versions. So when diving in my archives, I also found my two ETS training documents. And so this is dated March 94. So coming year, it's 30 years ago. That's crazy, huh? So what I would like to do in this vlog, not only share experience from my side, how I went on the bus, how I hopped on the bus and did my thing, but let you talk as maybe as a manufacturer, or as a system integrator, as a training center. Why do you like KNX so much? And what I felt at that time when I started working with this technology, with this system, it didn't feel like working. I had an old Samsonite suitcase about this thick. I had a wooden board in it and two DIN rails mounted on it, with some power supply, of course, and some built-in boxes for push-button sensors. And I could play with that. I could program sensors, actuators, look at parameters, what are they doing, to have your advice for the customer, of course, ready. So that was an amazing time. Every day I was happy to go to work, to play actually with this technology. And until today, this KNX technology with this green bus cable is still around. Can you imagine? So people inventing this solution, they must have been very visionary. It's still the same 29 volts DC behind the choke powered bus cable. The only evolution you could say is that when I was working with it, you had maximum 640 milliamps power supply for 64 devices, sometimes 80, whatever. But now you have, of course, the double powered, and you're able to extend a bus line with more than 64 participants. But basically, in the core, that's the only evolution we have seen. Of course, on top of it, we have we're working hard on security to keep stuff safe. But it's all on the basis of the same bus cable that was used since the early 90s, or actually probably the first versions were late 80s on the market. We had 3 strong brands in the Netherlands, and it was fun. They were your competitor, but you saw that this was becoming a community where people share ideas. Of course, you would only share your idea if you have already won a project, but the sense for community is still baked deep down in the core of everybody that's working with this technology. So not only the technology is very good and long lasting, but I think also the support that you have from all participants, whether it be a manufacturer or a system integrator or a training center. So this was a little bit about my start. Happy to find my manual, and something comes into my mind. Wait, I have to go to another archive. Yo, back again. This is from years later, and it was in the first Light and Building in the year 2000. From day one, Light and Building in the year 2000, we said, wow, this is great. This is our exhibition. And on this exhibition, we did some marketing for the trademark. And I don't know if other people, so this is a towel. It's a pretty old one, but still alive. I don't know if other people have some memorabilia to show in the next vlog. Think about it and bring them along if we get in touch. So would you like to tell your story? Leave a comment below. If you like this kind of vlogs, please like, subscribe, and I will continue and see you on the next vlog. Bye for now.